Okay, one of the things I have to do, I don't know if it's a personality disorder of some sort, but in the Myers-Briggs, I tested as an ENTP, and that has a lot of ramifications. One of which is I just have to have fun. So today is sort of a cleanup day for me. I wanted to tidy up because this mess has been going on for too long, and we have company coming, and this is the dining room table. Anyway, I want to just clean up, but here's what I have to do to clean up. I wish I could be different, but I really can't be. I have to make it fun. So what did I do? I have this gigantic roll of packing tape, the box packing tape. And one of the things I found out is that it's very hard. It's because it has to roll in on itself. It's not like the kind that you wet with water. If you wet it with water to activate the glue, that's different than this. That's what I thought I was buying, so now I have 2 rolls of this because I thought I was buying that the second time. But there's like a sprayed fine film of silicone on here so that it can actually, because the glue is pretty strong when you get to it. And it sticks on itself, like down here. So now there are some things that you can do. There's some inks that will, you can do it, and there's several videos on that where people draw wonderful things on the outside. And of course they've got the sticky thing to stick it to. But I find this to be the best use for it for me. And what this is I turn it upside down. This is the paper side. And the sticky side, which is very sticky, is really quite wonderful. So I use it to clean up bits and make like a snippet roll. Now it's not perfect, and I often have to do a few things to it before I can use it, like figure out whether I want to glue this down or tear it off. That would be one of the things that you do. But I thought I would just show you what I do. I have this great big box of this collection of stuff that normally most people would throw away. Look at the little tiny bits and pieces. But it just becomes a fun exercise for me to keep unrolling this and adding things to it. And a couple of tips I will pass along of things I've learned, and others have done it as well. One of my favorite things to add is this. These are the handles to those wonderful kraft bags that you get. I save the bags because I use the paper. The paper's wonderful. But what I do with these is I cut off all of these and unwrap them. Okay, and I did a quick little video, and I may include it in here that concentrate just on this. And I unwrap it, and I'm left with some really, really interesting texture. See if I can find the place where it ends, and I can open it up more easily. Sometimes the glue, I have not cut down the glue. Anyway, while I'm doing this, one of the things you have to have handy, a couple of things you have to have handy when you set about to make one of these snippet rolls is a pair of scissors, of course, and I have glue. Yes, you do need a tiny bit of glue, so I always have this handy. And then this is nothing more than talcum powder, and just a little dish of it will do. And what I use this for is when I'm all done and there's still some sticky bits. Like this was a failed cut here. It was, I tried to cut this nasty paper on my Cricut Joy into this fancy thing, and it didn't do a very good job. Well, I had this all crumpled up in the bin to throw away. Throw away, right. But it looks kind of cool here. But the sticky bits are all there. So what you do is you just, whatever is left sticky that you don't want to stick anything to, like over it, you just put a little talcum powder on the sticky parts with your finger, and it's not sticky anymore, so you can actually use it. Okay, so that's why that's handy. So what do? Let's see, I just keep unrolling. And it comes in pretty handy when you want something special. Where's my little booklet? Oh, okay. I've been making this little booklet. And this is a snippet roll from one of these. I believe this was painted at the top and I had this applied. I had nothing at the bottom of it. And I thought, what am I going to use? Well, I found part of a snippet roll that I had made. You can see the bits peeking out of different things. This is a snippet roll. It's a belly band that I just used in here because the colors were good. And I think maybe, yeah. And then this pocket is another piece of snippet roll. So you can see how everything is stuck to it, and it becomes a neat pocket for other things. Okay, so this booklet is not done. I still have more to do with this. One of my favorite things around is I print on deli wrap paper. And this happens to be one of my favorite collages from Junk Journal Joy. It was a freebie, and I swear this is one of my absolute favorite collages. I use it all of the time. So that's handy because I've already used bits and pieces of it. Here's some more. This is more like a whole sheet, so I won't get into that one. And so I have tons of that. So I'll save the bigger pieces so that I can use for tags and pages and so on and so forth. So I'll save those. However, I have all kinds of debris left over. So let's look at my debris bin and see exactly what I have. And what I do is I keep pulling this thing out, exposing the sticky side. Here's a piece that just fell. So I'm going to just stick that in there. Lovely. Here's a piece that I was experimenting with, some gold. And then I thought I would fold it, and I was just playing around. I'll just stick that right there. Now, see that end? It's sticky. And unless I cut it or do something with it, adding another piece, in this case I won't. I'll just cut it. And this, just tear off. So two things you can do. Let me get that all down there. And of course, it's awfully nice to have your something handy. Like I might want to just cover that up in there and there. And I could actually put stuff over this as well, but using glue. All right, so what else is in my bin? That took care of that. It's because I used this tape and did some glue treatments, that has some stickiness to it as well. So, all right, so let's see what else we got here. There's obviously nothing like book pages. So this is wonderful just to work with. I think that one of the things you might want to consider is if you're always in need of something that you want to have facing that way, you have to think some of your snippet roll, like this bird that I put in here, this will make like a pocket. And by the way, this was added coffee dyed cheesecloth. That really works well on this. Bits and pieces, and this is some of my, and what I'll do later on is I'll do two things. I'll either tear it off. I have a pin in my mouth, so that's why I sound funny. Or glue it down. That's it. Any loose pieces, because obviously if you place things on top of where there's no sticky, then you have to tack it down with glue or rip it off, one of the others. This is the beginning. And that just makes marvelous additions to a journal. When you don't want to just do a whole thing, having this handy is so very useful. And once it's done, you can just roll it up, so, and attach it with a paper clip. See this piece here? I haven't decided what I'll do, but I'll just tear it off and use it somewhere else. Oops, I left a sticky part. Oh darn, what can I stick there? I think I'll stick that there. I like that. A piece out of my bin. Now, obviously, I've got some flappy things here, so I can, right now, get my glue and stick it on, and then cut off the edge here later on when I'm using it. So sticking the pin back into my glue, I tried to do every single time so it doesn't dry out. Sorry about that. Oh, when you're in a hurry, it's hard to do. And there we go. All right, so I'll get a couple of paper clips. In fact, I probably should do that now so I could roll it up. And you can see how much fun you can have. Thing is, I will use things that would have been thrown away. And actually, these snippets, now I'm exposing more of the glue, so I got to get busy. And this was an absolute wonderful find as well. This is pieces I've already used. But look at it's got the labels already on there. So I will get as close to the edge, maybe over the edge, actually, because I can always cut that. And I'll probably glue that down. And we'll just glue this here. And let's see, the other thing I like to do is the edges that you cut from things. Maybe I'll do it this way and leave the edge off the edge. Leave the edge off the edge. That way there's some sticky bit there and a couple of sticky bits there and there. Okay, now as I was talking about this, these handles, I just want to show you how I've used those. See those handles? I just cover them, but they leave nice texture. So I'll have to glue this down. The other thing I have is I shirred up on the sewing machine some brown wrapping paper. That makes nice texture as well. And little pieces of fabric stuck in there. It just doesn't even, and the burlap, I have to find out where I've got that because I love using that on here, and so on. So trying not to get my stuff stuck. There we go. Let's see, what else do I have? Let's see. I thought it was such a treat. Now I haven't, this is a bit on the bright side. I'm not sure I'll use that right now, but later on I'll just start a different one. Here's a test I did, seeing if I could cut something out of this paper, which did not work, and this would have been thrown away. So I'm just going to put it down and get my finger with the and I just wanted to see, I forget what I made this out of, to see if it would cut, and it did not cut very well. I forget what maybe it was the Cricut Joy, I don't know what I was testing out. So there you go, and you can rush, say you do this. Oh, wait a minute, this has some good stuff on the other side. What am I thinking? Yeah, the gold, and I was playing with that. I don't know what all that was about. And then this. And here's some more ruching that I did with the, what do you call these? Scissors. Anyway, you know what I mean. Pinking shears. Yeah, that was it. So then I've got these little pieces. These pieces come in really handy, like right there. And any place where there's a sticky going on that you don't want, this works. And it's nice to go crossways, and it's nice to catch the edges. These little bits and pieces are just so useful. But what works particularly well is anything that I print on deli wrap. It just works. So you just figure out where it's sticky and stick stuff down. Let's see if I can. This paper here I used to make these things way up here, and I found out that they didn't cut very well on my machine. So this paper is kind of useless, but I stuck something there. So this would have gone in the trash bin, and what I'll do is use my, see what this is doing is I'm trying to clean up my bits and pieces and have fun at the same time. So now I think I can stick this right here. There you go. Now that's sticky on the edge, and I might not have anything to stick there. So then I've got some more of this wonderful stuff, which I love up there, and I'm going to go across this way, tear a piece, and sticky tape here, and tear another piece, maybe. Oops, it's not wanting to tear very easily, so let me get something else. I've got plenty of this sitting here. All right, it's this. Let's try this. This is kind of nice paper. What I did is, this is like paper that I tried to make. It's tissue paper, tissue wrapping paper. Printed, that was printed, and I made it into, no, I said you had to have scissors, and gotta find them. I made it into like glassine paper, and then I've used it for something, and this is something, the bits of it. So you can see it's run across. Now it won't stick to that because that's already down, so tear it. And oh, there's a piece right there that's sticky. And let's see, I'm tearing this up. I could just stick the glassine paper wherever I want it sticky. Yeah, it just adds a softening of whatever it is you've got. And I'll stick that down there. And let's see, what else do I have that's fun? Oh, I've got loads and loads of bits and pieces like this. This is also tissue paper that I've made into a glassine. I think I'll stick that across there. And ooh, I'll tell you, this stuff is so sticky. This paper is really super sticky. You save a lot on glue because very little of this will be glued. And you just add these little pieces, some text gets added in there. And maybe I'll do this with this one. And more of this. And this is looking, I love that. You can overlap it. If you overlap it, then you're going to have to add some glue eventually. But it's just fabulous. And here I go. It's like a masterboard, a snippet masterboard, because you can then add your labels and some highlight pieces when you're ready to use it. But it's, and then, oh, this one's pretty kind of darn awesome too. This would be glued onto something. I'm just going to put it on here. Yep. And then I'll have to just glue the edges. And so much fun. Now here's some stuff. Very little teeny tiny ones, but it had a little bit of color. I do love the antique-y looking stuff. but adding a little bit of color is kind of nice too, I think. And then these little doohickeys, oh, I think I'll put one right in there. Need a little glue for that. Stick of glue. Yeah. And then some more of this. And a sticky there. Oh, I've almost used up this whole container. I still have the pin in my mouth, can you tell? Let me stick my glue pin back in. I try to do that because when I lose that pin, it isn't much fun. Okay, so I've got this Mortar Wild stuff here, colored tissue paper. I think I'll start using some of that. Now, I turned that one backwards so it doesn't get the full color. But this one here, I'll just stick out and put it toward the color. And since I got the yellow there, I can start doing a whole different color thing. Let's try this. Yeah. And so this color, this part of the snippet roll would be more colorful. And let's see. I think I will. Hope there are no bad words on there. Sometimes, boy, I'll tell you, you start looking at this stuff and you see, woo, bad word. So some of these books, some of which I have not even read, or maybe I have. So this is another piece of my, and I think I'll put another glue thing there just for fun. Oh, there's a bit of sticky right there. Yeah. And I have a little piece right there. And I could stick that right. Let's see if I can get that up again. Sorry if I got out of frame. I was busy concentrating. So there you go. Just how much fun can you have? Obviously, I got the pen in my mouth again. Sorry about that. But I must put it back. I'm trying very hard not to. And little tiny pieces, particularly like that, come in so handy. I find them all over the place. And then just to change a pace, we can change the color. I could later stamp that, you know, but it'll at least be on here. And I could stamp it. And let's see, or even glue something else on it. Like that would be cute. I don't know what that says. They go anyway. They usually, more glue. Pull the pin and we'll just stick that on there. Oops, sticky part there. Let's see, what have I got here? Whoops, pin's in my mouth. Put the pin back. There it goes. All right, so, oh, this is pretty. You wouldn't think it was until it lays down and it's printed. And printed there. All right, so let's see. You know, I found a piece of this. I think I'm going to put that on here. A little embossing. Oh, and then I found this great fabric. Ooh. Let's just stick that there. Now I may have to come back with some Fabri-Tac and glue that down, but you can see it really does want to stick to that that tape. Yeah. Oh, here's another piece of fabric, but I'll save that for down here somewhere. And glue stuff on top of this is really good for fabric. Yeah. So, and these are super good. So, I think I will glue. Anyway, I think I can stop this now. It's 25 minutes. You get the idea. The thing is, if you don't do much thinking and you just start plunking things down, I'll glue that down. I got to get a sticky thing for that. Let's see. I just found a piece. And we'll stick that in there. And most of it is pretty good. Yeah. Oops, missed a whole bunch of spots there. So, what can I put? I tried to find stuff that has print on it. See, that's good. This is really good. Now, I will either pull off the part that's not sticking, tear it, and tear that. And then, of course, if there's a tiny little bit that I don't want to stick anything on, I just stick my finger in the powder. There we go. And make it unsticky. Now I can add labels. I can add many focal points. But I've managed to use up, without thinking too much about what looks good and what doesn't, is, oh, this is a great one, look at that. So I think I need to get down here and put that down there. Of course, it never ends, right? Because as soon as you do that, let's just push this down there and call it a day. All right. I'll either glue that or tear it. Add more things when it comes time. But I have got like this humongous long strip. And I will just roll it up, stick a couple of paper clips, and use this. See how nice that is? It's not even sticky anymore. Just have fun cleaning up, girls and boys and men and women and everybody else. Just have fun. So there it is. That's my cleanup project for today. And that didn't take long. That was like 28 minutes. All right, that's it.